Hello everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. This is part 3 of our weekly theme covering item research. In part 1, we talked about how item research isn't just about the item, but you should start with the buyer. Because if you know who your buyers are potentially going to be, you can frame your listings to suit that buyer, pricing included. In part 2, we talked about how there are 3 sources of information that when you put it together, you get an understanding of the range of possible sale prices, the range of possible alternatives that a buyer might consider instead of your item, and the nuances and desirability within certain categories. And that is Terapeak, Google, and Facebook common interest groups. Today in part 3, we're going to talk about how much research should you do? How much time should you spend on research? Sometimes research can feel like a never-ending process because there's this pursuit of maximum profit, as if there is an actual maximum. I'm sad to inform you that there isn't, simply because 6 billion people in the world, everyone potentially commenting, criticizing, buying, selling, disposing of the items that you want to sell every single day. And because of that, the data set that is available to determine what is the minimum and the maximum is fluid. What that means is that every single day, that maximum keeps changing. And if you keep trying to chase that maximum, you're doing all that research just to find that number, and the next day the number changes, it's a waste of effort. What we should be looking for is profit. And profit can be basic level profit, intermediate level profit, or expert level profit. I'll break it down like this. The other day I saw someone sell a watch. It was a Fossil men's watch, one of those stainless steel ones, brushed metal, black, where if you rotate it a little bit, you can see like the dotted kind of spectral kind of sheen to the finish. These watches generally go for between about 150 to 300 depending on, I guess, where you get it from and the edition. But this person had it for $20. And the listing literally said, men's watch black. I think it was very basic. It was like just color men's watch. And he wanted $20 for it. It was sold pretty quickly. And it got me thinking, did this person not know what he had, or did he not care? Or maybe he didn't care because the item was free, and so $20 was still better than nothing. Maybe he had worn it for so long that to him, the item had served its purpose, and therefore $20 was better than throwing it in the bin because he was done with it. But as far as he's concerned, he made a profit. Then someone who bought that watch probably put it back on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree or whatever with the title, with the model number, with the actual color, the official color, and probably got $50, $70 for it. But if he took the photos the same way as the basic one, which was just one photo from the top, he wouldn't have gotten much attention. But if he had taken photos, say 2 or 3 more photos on the different angles, he might get the $70, $80 asking price that he wants. Then there's the expert level, which is like knowing why somebody wants that model over the other related models. Knowing that this watch, when the light hits it, produces a particular feeling. And if they're able to take photos showing that feeling, and the buyer who wants that feeling comes to that listing, will lap it all up. Be like, yeah, I'm paying $90, $100 for it. I'll pay retail for this because I can't get this in the shop anymore. Because that's expert level understanding from expert level research. So how do we get from basic to expert level? Simple. You ask yourself, well, I ask myself this all the time when I get new items. Do I intend to sell this item ongoing? Do I have a store that I can feed this item through over and over again without hurting the rest of the items in my store? And given that I'm the kind of person that likes to build up stores with a particular category in mind, if I can't fit in any of my stores, I oftentimes just leave it alone. But if I can pick it up for cheap, I'll still sell it, but I'm not going to go expert level research on it. I'll just go basic to intermediate, make my profit, move on. So that's what I do. I ask myself, do I intend to sell the item ongoing? Also, even if you have expert level knowledge, and even if you position an item the way an expert would, it doesn't mean the item will sell quickly. Fact is, the more expensive an item is, the longer it takes to sell. So if you are running a business that churns items over very quickly, and you have the capacity, the labor to do that, you may not need expert level knowledge. You could very well achieve your rate of turnover from basic to intermediate level research only. But if you're the kind of seller that wants to curate the finest range from basic all the way to premium, then expert level knowledge will allow you to distinguish between those products. So when you ask for the high price and the low price, buyers who come to your store can see that there is a consistency. But that's because you're building a business. You want to be the curator for that thing. So yeah, ask yourself, what's the plan? And if there isn't a plan, go and plan first, then get to research. Another thing about research is it needs to be hands-on. You cannot just be stuck in online land, hoping that eventually you'll reach an aha moment and then you start sourcing and selling. Whilst you are in online land, you need to allocate a budget to go buy some stock so that you can flip and assess whether the rate at which you're turning the item over, at the pricing, at the positioning, at the way you're photographing, whether all that makes sense. Because if it doesn't make sense, then you actually need to adjust on the ground as well. Because the one thing that the online information doesn't include is your circumstances. It doesn't include your ability to ship 1 business day versus 3 business days. It doesn't include your actual geographical location. It doesn't include the way that you pack. All of that are your variables. So once you have information, you just need to add your variable to it to see if it works or not. So yes, part 3, how much time should you spend on research? Depends on your plan. Depends on whether you intend to sell ongoing. And most importantly, research must be matched with hands-on actual doing and testing. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, subscribe to the channel, share with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.